Good evening and welcome tonight. The President gives assurances that he's committed to May 29th date, appeals for understanding over election postponement. APC, PDP differ on postponement of election as Nigerians abroad ask INEC to ensure free and fair exercise. Police warn politicians in the south of the country threaten to deal with troublesome groups. And Greece's Prime Minister says his country cannot service foreign debt, but requires a bridge loan for survival. Not minding the shifts in the 2015 general elections by the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, the President has again reassured the nation that he's committed to the sanctity of May 29th. The presidency, in a 6-paragraph statement, says that despite the adjustment, President Goodluck Jonathan strongly reaffirms that May 29th has been, and will remain sacrosanct. The president then appeals to all interest groups and political parties to accept the adjusted dates by INEC in good faith, saying that the electoral body has a responsibility to conduct credible elections in which every Nigerian of voting age is afforded the opportunity to exercise their civic rights without any form of hindrance. The President also calls for the understanding of the international community, civil society and the electorate to continue to support the administration's commitment to a free, fair, credible and violence-free electoral process. Other presidential candidates of the All Progressives Congress, retired General Muhammadu Buhari, says his party will not tolerate any further interference with the electoral process, and that the rescheduled elections of March 28th and April 11th this year must be sacrosanct. Addressing a news conference in Abuja, General Buhari said although INEC acted within its constitutional powers, it is clear that it has been boxed into a situation where it has had to bow to pressure. However, the National Publicity Secretary of the ruling PDP, Mr. Olisametu, says the shift has not come without a cost to his party, but that it would support the decision.
Electoral umpire INEC on Saturday kept Nigerians and international observers on tenterhooks, wondering whether or not the elections would be postponed. INEC eventually announced the postponement of the elections till March 28 and April 11, 2015. The initial shock of the postponement of the 2015 general elections is gradually giving way, but politicians and their parties are still expressing their opinions on the shift in date. For the APC, the postponement is a bitter pill to swallow.
The PDP administration has now engineered a postponement using the threat that security will not be guaranteed across the length and breadth of Nigeria because of military engagement in some states in the northeast. It is important to note that although INEC acted within its constitutional powers, it is clear that it has been boxed into a situation where it has to bow to pressure. Thus, the independence of INEC has been severely compromised.
The party, however, warns that it will not tolerate further postponement. The PDP, on its part, says the party is not exactly dancing over the postponement.
This announcement has not come without the attendant cost of time and great expense to our party and candidates nationwide. However, on account of the reasons adduced by the security forces and INEC, we believe that this small shift, which is within the constitutionally allowed period, can be accommodated.
He urged INEC to use this spirit to identify and eliminate all irregularities so that the nation can truly have free, fair and credible elections.
INEC itself has confirmed that as of last week, well over 2 million voter cards were either not delivered by INEC by its contractors, or lost or stolen.
The reactions from the two major political parties are different, but they both agree that INEC needs to use the extension to better refine the electoral process. Linda Akibe, Channels Television News.
Also reacting to the postponement, the Director of Media, President Goodluck Jonathan Campaign Council, Mr. Femi Fani-Kayode, says the People's Democratic Party knows nothing about the shifts, but is only interested in ensuring a free and acceptable exercise. Mr. Fani-Kayode spoke with newsmen in Abuja today.
It's very clear to us that there were issues and that those issues had not been fully addressed. One of them is the PVC issue. We listed some of them in the press release, in the text here. There were all kinds of issues. Clearly, INEC still has quite a lot to do to get its house in order to ensure that it can conduct a free and fair election on that day. And that's precisely why, when you couple that or marry that to the security concerns that our military chiefs have and our security agencies have, to postpone this election by 6 weeks was the right and proper thing to do, even though it is painful for all of us. We wanted to go on February the 14th. It would have been a day of love and a day of voting for Goodluck Jonathan. But unfortunately, we've been denied that. We've been asked to continue to campaign for another 6 weeks. It's a painful thing, but at the same time, we have to accept it because it's in the nation's interest, and it's in the interest of INEC, and it's in the interest of the future of democracy in this country.
Let's check in on the opposition now, where Lagos State Governor Babatunde Fashola has asked party supporters to be peaceful despite the shifts on the date for the general elections. The governor said this at the endorsement rally organized by northern interest groups in support of the candidacy of General Muhammadu Buhari for President of Nigeria and Akin Ambode for Governor of Lagos. He also asked supporters of the APC to continue the propagation of the campaign for change in a continued struggle. The governor took time out to also collect his PVC and asked others to do the same.
While ordinary Nigerians are struggling in the sun, trying to collect their PVCs, trying to vote, you see what they are doing at night. You see how seriously that party that they represent takes your vote and your effort and your sacrifice for democracy. So, and I'm sure now Nigerians are getting wiser, because all of the things that they thought was done in the dark is now out in the open.
Lagos State Governor Babatunde Fashola. In the meantime, some legal practitioners and other political parties have been speaking on INEC's postponement. For some, it's a welcome development, while for others, the postponement may create more challenges for the sustenance of democracy in the country. Our correspondent, Linda Akibe, reports.
The dust raised by the shift in dates of the general elections from February 14 to March 28 and April 11 by INEC may take a while to settle down. Dr. Alex Izinyo, a senior advocate of Nigeria, opposed the February date, saying the postponement is the best thing to happen to the country at the moment.
Well, that announcement came as a welcome development to douse the tension that was already being created. Some misapprehensions, some fears. So it was timely, though belated. There was no basis of people fixing it in February because there was no rush, knowing fully well that they were not also prepared.
The national chairman of Independent Democrats kicked against the postponement of the elections, but the national chairman of Action Alliance expressed a different opinion.
We are not in support for INEC to shift or postpone the 2015 general elections.
Action Alliance is not supporting the postponement of any date of election. What we support is shift in date.
Another senior lawyer says INEC has acted within its constitutional powers.
INEC chairman, Professor Tahir Jega, gave his reasons. Principally, he hinged it on security. And this is an issue which he rightly said is beyond his control, as the electoral management body is not a security outfit.
Dr. Izinyo berated the electoral umpire and advised the Professor Jega-led commission to take advantage of the postponement of the election.
INEC should sit up. They must sit up. They are the one who caused this tension, who brought us into this mess. If they had done their own work, they done the logistic, they would not even have given us a date first when they have not cleared from all relevant. So they cause this problem. They must sit up, and if they don't sit up, Nigerians should hold them responsible.
With the postponement of elections by 6 weeks, the hope of many Nigerians would be for an improved security situation, just as registered voters who are yet to get their permanent voters' cards may now have the opportunity to pick up their cards.
In part two, after the break, Nigerians in the UK and South Africa express views on the postponement. Please join us again.